Hey everyone, it's David with another episode of The Closer's Confidence. What is The Closer's Confidence? It's a series of videos that I'm doing for insurance agents and agency owners related to growing and scaling their business. Sales, marketing, tools, mindset, systems, just a million different topics. Doing 365 of these in 365 days. I know a lot. Doing this challenge courtesy of Sandra Gerbhardt and a few others in the Closers Clique are doing this as well. My goal is to provide a little bit of value or discussion points on each of these that you can go through and check out. These will be short and go apply to your business. And so let's go ahead and hop into today's. Today's is actually the first in a series of videos that I'm doing on the four critical problem pillars that agents and agency owners have in their business. We've run this Facebook group of 15,500 agents for years, had thousands of phone calls with agents and agency owners, and really hearing what those core issues and problems of their business are, and really identified four main problem pillars that almost all their issues and problems really fall under. And so that's really what I want to talk about today on the very first one, and I'll go through the rest of these on future videos. So the very first one I want to talk about, and honestly, a lot don't get past this point, and this is why a lot of agents and agency owners end up failing 92%, is their pipeline. The pipeline is the very first one, is having a consistent and quality pipeline of people to talk to and to work is absolutely key. Nothing else even matters unless you have that in the first place. Because your tools and systems, your sales, none of that stuff matters because you have to have the people to talk to in the first place. And yes, there's a lot of different ways to fill up that pipeline and have a consistent and quality pipeline, in which each of those is probably going to end up being its own video at some point as well. But the four main areas for filling that pipeline normally fall under lead vendors, with working with existing vendors out there, generating your own leads, strategic referral relationships, and organic social media slash networking, which I'd probably put networking along with this strategic referral relationships. And so those are kind of the main areas for filling up that pipeline. Whether you're working with vendors and getting them, data, age leads, real-time leads, whatever that is, live transfers from vendors, of course, that can help fill your pipeline. And that's kind of a quick and straightforward. You pay for some leads come in, and you have a certain amount, and that's a quick way to fill up that pipeline. Or generating your own. Yes, that may take a slower to scale up, and yes, you have to learn how to do that. But that is another way to start filling those pipelines, and usually you're in more control with those and potentially can even generate them for less than with vendors. There's a lot of benefits to that as well. Or strategic referral relationships. This is very common. Most people know these, but building up referral relationships of people that can send you business and prospects. And yes, there's many out there, but thinking beyond the common ones as well is really important. And identifying those and having a bunch of really good ones and setting them up in win-win situations. So they're actually going to send you them rather than you being one of the million agents asking them to just give you stuff without anything in return for them. And then obviously networking along with that, that's part of the strategic referral networks, making those connections, whether you're out and about at events or online events or virtual or whatever, but making those connections as well is kind of a part of those referral relationships. And then organic social media, another one that it's free, except you're spending time, but having a good organic social media strategy to bring leads and referrals in off of there that are consistently coming in there as well. Ideally, it's a combination of all of those that are filling up that pipeline and keeping it consistent and quality. But even if you get really good at one, it can really fill that up and keep that consistent. The thing is, you don't want the rises and falls of my pipeline's really hot this week and really cold next week. That makes it hard to bring on producers, makes it hard to hit consistent AP and sales in your business. And it's just frustrating. And so that's really what I want to talk about. It's that's one of the key areas. And that's why 90% of the questions are, where's a good lead vendor? Who has good leads? How do I get people to talk to? And honestly, I think a lot think that there's a magic switch that, I find the right lead vendor and then I'm super successful and all my problems are solved. In reality, that's just the very beginning. But a lot of people, like I said, don't get past that. So that's why a lot of the questions revolve around it. So that's what I want to talk about, is one of those core pillars for your business. And one of those being one of the key problem areas. And I'll talk about the rest on future videos. But I wanted to go ahead and cover that first one. And yes, there's going to be a bunch more videos on these specifically, but I wanted to cover at the high level what those four areas are. And so I wanted to also mention that we have weekly marketing for insurance agents office hours on Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I'd love to have you come check it out. You can register above or below to come for the free office hours, and we're going to be doing help and support, answering questions, any resources that you need to be connected with. So if you have any questions or you're looking for anything particular, come hop on these office hours and ask us. You can hop on and off. I'll be there for a full hour every Thursday answering questions and helping agents and just meeting them, as well as learning how we can help them and everything. So come check that out. We'd love to have you come check those out on Thursdays. Also, there's a recording of our last web class that Victor Gonzalez taught on One Call Closes that you can check out the recording of. And that's all on how he closes the majority of his sales on that first call and the strategy techniques for doing so. So check that out. And then also wanted to mention, in general, we love meeting the agents and agency owners in the Marketing for Insurance Agents group. We have 15,500 agents in there across the country. We have not met or talked to everybody, but we would love to meet and talk to you and find out a bit more about you and your business, and then how we can best help and support you, as well as send you some resources that might be good for helping you grow and scale your business. And so if you're interested in that, there's a link to grab a quick 15-minute call. I promise they will be 15 minutes or less. For really us to meet you, welcome you to the group, learn a bit about you and how we can best help and support you. And Carlos, our community manager, is having those calls every day of the week, all day long, with different agents in the group, and we'd love to meet you guys. So make sure to grab that call with us. And then finally, there's the link to the Marketing for Insurance Agents group, which if you're not in it, you should be. It's the best free Facebook group out there for insurance agents and agency owners. And we'd love to have you as a part of the community. And if you're already a part of it, we'd love to have you invite any other agents and agency owners you think would be a good fit. And welcome them to the community. So thanks for tuning in. There's going to be a bunch more of these, so stay tuned for more.